Hello everyone, this is William Armstrong here with the video on VMOS, known as VMOS. This is actually a virtual machine OS with Android version 5.1 Lollipop running on it. And we'll go to About Phone. There's the model number, which is VMOS, and this right here, the actual version of Android is 5.1.1. If I long press it, this is the Lollipop version of Android that is running inside of a virtual machine. The developers of this APK file that is not available in the Play Store, they have it at version 5.1 Lollipop, but the APK file I downloaded to my phone and as a test is actually Android virus free, so it means there's no virus in the APK file itself. If I can just trigger the focus a little bit, turn down the brightness of the screen. But this is what it is. You can actually play the Android 5.1 Easter egg directly inside VMOS, or find a way to play this particular Easter egg of Android 5. But this is a Flappy Bird parody of. This is a parody of Flappy Bird, rather. And I'm not good at it. But the way this works is you would have to download the APK files directly on your phone from the website of VMOS, which I will show you. Yes, it's Android 5.1 stock Lollipop with Google Play services present, but you do need a Google account to do this. And as soon as we look for it, it is available in Google Play, but, oh, whoops, I should have, one of my other videos, my rough draft video, I mentioned that the APK file I mentioned the APK file can be downloaded separately, but come to find out that this is from Google Play. There is VMOS Lite, which it is a Taiwanese developer. I don't know if it's either Chinese or Taiwanese or something. Well, Taiwanese because Google is blocked in China, but Android is available in China but customized to it. But this is VMOS Lite. And obviously this will work on high-powered Android phones. So if we go outside of the VM for a second here, let me just pause. This is the official app that's known as VMOS Lite that is available on the official Play Store, but this is just the Lite version, while I've gotten a full APK that is 300 megabytes in size. I downloaded straight from the VMOS website that includes this full system. This is what it says. VMOS tag. VMOS Lite doubles your mobile Android system, free your control to the new system. Please be aware that VMOS Lite is different from VMOS. Lite version does not have a root option. There are two versions of VMOS. This is the Lite version of Play Store. The VMOS Giant full version will have the root option, but the VMOS Lite will not. VMOS Lite is an app software based on virtual machine VM. It can be regarded as a virtual box. VMOS Lite can be installed in the form of a normal app to Linux or Android system through VM technology. It is an Android emulator and also a one-click app cloner. Moreover, VMOS Lite is not controlled by the host system and is separated from the host system. It can be even used to test virus Android on the phone. So you can test the Android virus malware through this method. Do you want to have another Android system on your phone? Do you want to install two of the same apps on one phone? Does your phone meet all apps installation requirements? VMOS Lite helps you solve these problems. VMOS Lite is a global app devoted to creating a virtual Android on Android, totally independent system, which is Geek's favorite. You can own two social accounts online, balancing life and work, in one device. VMOS Lite equipped with picture-in-picture mode. Floating window displays above other apps with free drag and free zoom, etc. Floating YouTube video, background YouTube. We can have VMOS Lite running in background for some particular games. Another unique feature is customizable resolution. Users define length, width, and DPI as their wishes. Resolutions before you set before will be recorded too. How does VMOS Lite work? VMOS Lite is a new and innovative technology. It virtualizes another native Android operating system on your own phone, like a parallel space or parallel system. With VMOS Lite, you can switch between real and virtual system apps at any time. The data and applications are stored locally. Question: what type of phone can be installed? The phone of more than 32 gigabytes of storage and 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the phone system is higher or equal to Android 5.1. Can I clone an app in real phone to it? Yes. File, clone, file, choose app, import. How's the speed of the VMOS Lite? Actually, it's fast. No need to transmit data remotely. Why VMOS? Lite needs access to storage, device info, information, location, IMEI, and audio. VMOS Lite requires these authorizations for better simulating real phone scenarios. Is VMOS safe for your real phone? Sure, real phone and VMOS Lite have two separate systems. Data from both systems won't interfere with each other. Basically, this is cool because the data between the VMOS virtual machine and your real phone are isolated to where viruses and or malware can't cross each other. These are all the permissions it requires. This is VMOS Lite from the Play Store, but the full VMOS APK file is 300 megabytes in size, which is why the full VMOS will have root while the VMOS Lite doesn't. These are all the reviews it gets. Some apps that are powered by Android, some apps like Netflix, won't be available in VMOS, and if you have root enabled, it can cause some problems with some apps that detect that your device is rooted and refuse to run. The developer is the email just for the developer, but there's no website or anything much for the developer itself. But if we go back to access VMOS, you just tap here, and there you're back. You can also power the machine off and on. But one caveat about VMOS or VMOS is that it has ads upon turning the machine off and on through here. So it has ads when turning the machine on, but when turning the machine off, correction, there are no ads when shutting the VMOS machine down. There's no ads, but there are ads upon startup. It's normal. When you first install VMOS, the installation time won't take too long, but it'll take 5 to 10 minutes for first power on and things like that. And we'll finish exploring the system. Let me change the brightness of my phone. Make sure it's not too overly exposed. Here you've got Google Play Games. Android version 6.0 and above. Most phones have Google Play Games removed on Android version 6.0, and Android version 5.1 and lower. On some devices you'll find a Google Play Games already pre-installed. If we tap backup and refresh, or backup and reset, you can tap new backup, and this will let you back up stuff. Video, audio, and images and apps, you can do that. However, you can also reset the device, reset the virtual machine. So to tap system setting, tap, there should be a backup and reset, but it's not available for the virtual machine. But language and inputs, you can customize the keyboard. There's the default AOSP keyboard. There's things you can customize here, but not a lot of customization options for the AOSP keyboard. There's customizations here and there, but the virtual storage is higher than your phone's actual storage. This is 21 gigs, but there's 12 gigs available. 546 megabytes of apps and data media content. Cache data takes up 3.6 megs. So this gives you 21 gigs. Actually 21 gigs total, but it's 12 gigs free. Because it's a minimal stock version of virtual Android running on your actual phone. There's a virtual USB storage that's running here. You have 12.7 gigs of available storage. There is actually this space, but there's the USB and then there's the internal storage. It's hard to tell what is what from here. There's the USB computer connection. There's camera, MTP mode. You can't select that at all much, but it crashes settings when I do that. And settings will reopen back at the storage screen. If we tap back, we can look at the total memory of the phone. There's actually a memory setting, if we can find it. Process stats. Here's the background apps, and here's the device memory usage. And so if we tap up here, the process manager here will tell us what it looks like. So we change the view to 1 day, things like that. There's USB debugging. This is just a virtual Android, so you wouldn't be able to do too much except have it rooted and try apps that require root on here. But again, not all Android apps will allow to be installed on a rooted device due to security issues in the background of the Android system. And to tell the difference that you're running in a virtual machine, that little floating bubble is what gives away you're running VMOS. If I tap that, this is what it looks like. This is your virtual touch buttons. You have power off, minimize tasks, notifications, home, reset resolution, and return. So this color, blue-purple color, is VMOS you're inside. But if I swipe up and reveal the system bar button, it's a little hard because it's overlaying the Android official System OS button right there on top of the virtual machine window. But green right here indicates you're on the host OS, which is Android 9 for my phone. The version will be different than what you're running. Note, run this on Android version 5.1 and higher, because this app won't work on Android version 4 or lower due to code differences in the app. So I can swipe up the little bar for Android down on my main phone, tap to go back in here, and this is it. So all I say is I would suggest you check out VMOS Lite. There is a full VMOS APK file that's 300 megabytes, and you need to also download the VMOS tool APK that also requires you to run it. And this is William Armstrong signing out, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.